I am delighted to have another member of the Clemson family. Julie Helm comes to us from the Clemson Livestock Poultry and Health. There's a lot of mooing and
Clucking.
cock-a-doodle-doodle going up there.
That's right.
And you are here today to tell us first a little bit more about what y'all do there to keep the food supply in South Carolina safe.
Sure. So Livestock Poultry Health is the office of the state veterinarian, and we have 3 other departments. It's animal health programs, and our main job is to help protect livestock and poultry, flocks and herds, to monitor and control any serious diseases that may occur in the state. We also have the state meat and poultry inspection department, so that's our food safety aspect, where we have inspectors in the state inspected processing plants and other further processing facilities for food safety, for human eating.
Yes.
And then our last one is animal veterinary diagnostic laboratory, and so we do a lot of livestock and poultry surveillance testing, as well as that's where we do the necropsies on animals, or the human version of autopsies, to determine if it's a disease issue that is causing the animals to die.
So sometimes people call y'all up and they have a situation where they're afraid it might be something that's very serious or contagious, and they bring the animal that unfortunately has lost its life up to you, and y'all do the work necessary to find out what's happening.
Yes, so we do the different types of testing to determine if this is truly a contagious disease that's, a risk for the rest of the animals in the herd or flock.
Okay. Well, they tell me that I look kind of funny on the show sometime, but I'm going to tell you, I think you got me beat tonight. So tell me what's going on with this great biosecurity queen outfit.
So this is the outfit I wear when I talk about biosecurity, which is disease prevention steps. Anytime I talk to livestock or poultry producers and farmers on how to keep disease out of their farm, away from their animals. And I dress like this because I want to be remembered, and I want my message to be remembered as well.
And so what that means is that you wear things that you can wash and that can be cleaned and partially discarded.
So part of this outfit is my normal outfit. Anytime I go to an animal facility, I always wear coveralls, I wear boots, I wear a head cover, and I wear gloves if I'm touching the animals. And this is not really to protect me, it's protect the animals. I don't bring any diseases onto the farm, and then I don't take anything away if I'm going to another facility.
Because you have several changes you can change.
Correct. So I either disposable, which I throw away, or use another clean set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we specifically asked you to come here today because there's been a lot of talk and a lot of information about avian influenza, which I think is bird flu, and people are concerned about it. And so tell us what's happening, what happened back last year out in the Midwest that raised our awareness of this?
Well, avian influenza is a virus, and obviously it can affect birds. There's a lot of different types. It's naturally carried in the wild ducks and geese and shorebirds, and most of the time it doesn't make them sick at all. So the majority of the types don't make any poultry sick. There are some types that make poultry sick, like chickens and turkeys, and a very few of them that can make humans sick, but luckily we don't have that in the U.S. We did have a recent outbreak in the West and Midwest with what we call the severe form of highly pathogenic avian influenza.
But that means highly pathogenic to the poultry, not to people.
Correct, yes. So avian influenza can come in mild forms where it may not show any sickness in poultry or a little bit of sickness. Highly pathogenic creates essentially a pile of dead birds in poultry-type birds.
Do we have some pictures of what birds look like when they are not feeling well? Oh, I think they just showed them,
I apologize.
So
I know there was the pile of dead chickens, and with highly pathogenic influenza, that may be the only symptom you see.
How quickly can things happen?
They can die within a couple of days after getting infected.
Now, when this happens, you don't treat a facility. The only thing that you're able to do is to go in and to destroy the birds. And that's for the safety of the entire poultry industry.
All the other flocks in the state. Yeah, so unfortunately this is called a foreign animal disease. This is not a disease we normally have in the United States.
And that's good that we don't normally have it.
So it's unusual for us to have that outbreak. And that's the only way to contain it is what we call stamping out. So we have to destroy infected flocks. They'll end up dying anyway, so we have to humanely destroy them before they could spread to other flocks.
And so we've got a migration of ducks and wild fowl coming through the state all the time, and we love that because it's part of the natural environment that we find so beautiful, and of course for sportsmen and all that. But tell me, what are we doing to try to protect the poultry industry in South Carolina from this?
So we've had a national avian influenza program since 2006 where all the commercial flocks are sampled for avian influenza before they move to market. It's kind of a preemptive strike. We also have inspectors that go out to poultry auctions and shows and fairs, and we do some avian influenza sampling there as well. And we also ask anybody who has to report sick birds. So if you have a sudden increase in death, you have a whole bunch of dead birds being sick, or I know there were some pictures earlier of that depressed bird where it has ruffled feathers, not eating, not moving. It's not just you have one bird, it's like you have a lot of birds doing that very suddenly, then to call our office and we'll come out and do some testing to make sure.
Oh, you can actually go out.
Yeah, we can do sampling for avian influenza and we can run it back at the lab.
Now, there's a great interest in backyard poultry these days. What should those people be doing to protect not only their flocks, but to make certain that they don't cause an outbreak that might affect the whole industry?
Correct, and this part of the biosecurity, so those disease prevention steps, and it doesn't matter if you're backyard or commercial, you always have to take steps so you don't walk in or bring in disease to your birds. And so some of it is, keep it away and keep it clean. So keep it away would be keeping your poultry separated from other poultry, especially wild birds like ducks and geese, which can naturally carry avian influenza.
And are not usually affected by it, so you couldn't tell.
Yeah, they could be carriers. You don't know they're sick. Or carrying it. So anytime you get new birds, make sure you get it from a reputable breeder that has a history of healthy birds. Anytime you bring in a new bird, you need to separate it for 30 days.
Really? Oh,
to make sure it's not carrying something. And you're hoping that it'll start showing symptoms before you drop it into the flock.
And so you wouldn't want to go, if you were an expert kind of and your friends knew that you were good, you would want to be very careful not to just wear the clothes you'd been wearing when you were working with your birds when you go to see their birds, and then to change into absolutely completely fresh clothes before you went back into your flock.
So similar to my philosophy is designated your bird clothes and shoes especially when you work your birds, and then change your clothes and then go off if you're going to help a friend with a flock or if you're going to go to an auction or anything, and then change out of those clothes and wear your bird clothes to do your flock.
A lot of changes.
But definitely worth it when we're dealing with high-path avian influenza.
Well, and worth it is exactly what I wanted to say. What is the poultry industry's importance in South Carolina?
Very important. We're the #1 animal agriculture in the state, and I believe it has over $12 billion total economic impact when you look at all of agribusiness.
So we need to keep it safe.
We need to keep it safe. We need to keep everybody safe, because even if a backyard flock gets affected, the whole state has to respond, and it affects us everything.
If you have someone near you who raises chickens in the backyard, are you in danger of getting sick from the birds?
As a person?
Yes.
No. Luckily, the strain of high path that may be carried by the wild ducks now is not the strain that can make people sick. So that's the good news.
Okay, good. So you do not need to fear that you are going to get sick with some terrible disease if your neighbors are keeping chickens.
Correct.
Okay, so just tell them to give you some eggs.
That's
and be nice. Yeah. And to get rid of the
rooster. Make friends
and to get rid of the rooster and not let him wake you up.
That's right.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ask you now to tell me how people can learn more about this disease, especially as it relates to South Carolina's poultry industry. Is there a website or a site we can go to?
You can go. I have a poultry page on Livestock Poultry Health.
Okay.
And it's clemson.edu/LPH/AHP/NPIP, which is a tongue twister. Actually, if you just wanted to find it, if you actually Google Clemson, Julie Helm, you will find my poultry page.
And it's Helm is a 4-letter word.
It's a 4-letter word, yes.
Just like duck.
That's right.
Well, we are delighted that you decided not to be a cat and dog vet, that you became a poultry vet, and we're delighted that you're sharing your skills with South Carolina and protecting our very valuable poultry industry. Thanks, Julie Helm, for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Our biosecurity queen.
That's right.